What if it's time to actually give up? What if this whole thing about never give up, never give up, never, never, never stop, never give up? It makes a lot of sense, but then there's also a point that it becomes being a glutton for punishment. And also we get stuck in our ways and we get locked into the path we've chosen, not the destination, because there's a difference between giving up on, for example, your dreams, as we talk about. Don't give up on your dreams. I can support that. But sometimes it's time to give up on the way we've been trying to achieve that dream. Imagine someone who's pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing against that door to try and push the door open to get to where they want to go. And the truth is, it was time to give up on the door and walk around and maybe go in a window or maybe go around the back of the house to find a different way. So I agree with the idea of never give up on the destination until it's time to give up on the destination. But definitely, often it's time to give up on the method, give up on the path, give up on the way we're trying to get there. Because at some point, it's time to realize that the way we've been approaching it isn't working. And there's also another element to look at here because another way to say giving up is to surrender. And for a lot of us, that sounds awful, like never surrender, because we see it as giving up or a failure. But I would say surrender to possibility, surrender to the flow of things versus constantly pushing back against the resistance. I mean, so many people who are constantly in this battle against whatever resistance is showing up. And it's hard as opposed to easy. Let me talk about a simple life thing, not a business thing right now. Recently, I was looking to schedule a trip and put together a lot of ideas. It was a lot of fun. And my partner and she and I decided to say, let's look at what flights make the most sense. And we were trying to be efficient and do the trip east of the Mississippi because it'd be a shorter flight. We looked at all the flights and they didn't make sense at all. You know, if I could get there in the morning, she could get there in the evening. If she could get there in the morning, I could get there in the evening. It was just hard. And so we gave up on that approach and instead had a conversation about a different place. I was telling a story about Napa Valley, and she said, well, why don't we go to Napa Valley? And I thought, well, that's kind of far. It's across the country. It's a 5 hour flight as opposed to a couple hour flight. That doesn't make sense. I said, well, let's check the flights. We checked the flights. And what do you think happened? We discovered that our departing flights, because we were leaving from different cities, were going to arrive within 3 minutes of each other in San Francisco, and our departing flights would leave like 4 minutes apart on the return. We looked at each other and said, oh, that's where we're supposed to go. Because our idea, the plan, was to do something simpler, something closer. But in order to find the magic combination, that which was easier, that which was in the flow, we had to give up on the idea of the close trope. You might say that's not really giving up, except it is because it's easy to get attached to what we think things should be and miss out on the way they're supposed to be. That's the thing to think about. Yes, don't give up on your dreams, but often it's time to give up on the way we're pursuing those dreams, the path we've taken to those dreams, because there's likely a different path, a smoother path, a more naturally intended path to whatever that destination is. So yes, sometimes it's time to give up.